Hello readers, welcome back to PJL Books and welcome to today's showcase. Now today's showcase is My Neighbour Totoro. Now this is a showcase I've wanted to do for a long time, and in a moment you'll see why. Because I hold let's say an unusual opinion when it comes to Totoro. Controversial even. And I've really wrestled with how I can word it best, how I can convey my thoughts on this movie faithfully. Well, I can't say for sure if I'm going to do myself or Totoro justice, but it's time to finally get this one off my chest. Life is in the small moments. We all like to think that the big moments in life matter. Going to see your favourite band live, scaling a mountain, going to a wedding. And while these kind of milestones are incredible, amazing capsules in our timeline, they don't really represent our life. If anything, they represent the anomalies of life, which by and large is mundane, repetitive, and riddled with stress and worry. But at the same time, I'm not saying that life is, when it's normal, is bad, no more than it's good. It simply is. So when we find those precious little moments in everyday life where everything just seems to align and all is right and good in our world, it means just as much, if not more. I'm talking about watching raindrops race down a window pane, reading a book by candlelight because of a rolling blackout, reading another book with your pet cat curled up and purring on your lap, cracking open a cold beer after a long and productive day. We treasure those moments just as much as our milestones. Not because they're as special, of course they're not, but because they're real. They happen within the fabric of everyday life, and it reminds us that yes, life can be good. And this is why I adore My Neighbour Totoro, because watching it feels like a real show of these little moments. I don't watch My Neighbour Totoro for the story, because, in my opinion, the story is weak. Now hey, don't look at me like that. Other critics out there have pointed out the same lack of threat, conflict, or plot twists in Totoro. I go even further and say that it also sidesteps other story staples such as a protagonist, a clearly outlined character motivations, an end goal, or heck, even a proper plot outright. I mean, okay, the last one may be a little bit of a push, but for the duration of Totoro, we are introduced to the family when they move into their new house, and we end it on a hospital visit to see a mother who has been in hospital for the whole duration of the movie anyway. From beginning to end, life just seems to happen to these characters rather than a prescribed plot. Now, I'm not being harsh here, I'm simply pointing out things that simply are there. I mean, put it this way, it's possible to encapsulate nearly any other story out there in 2 sentences. Only the most complex of tomes out there would require 3. Seriously, pluck a couple of movies or books out of the air right now and try it out. Now, summarize Totoro in 2 sentences. It's impossible because you cannot reconcile the 3 main points of the sick mother, the girl settling into their new home, and the big guy Totoro himself because they run fairly separate from one another. Only in the last act of the movie, when Mei goes missing, do these 3 points kind of converge and something resembling a traditional conflict-driven plot comes into play. But none of that matters. Seriously, if anything, a proper story would ruin what makes Totoro so great. Because My Neighbour Totoro's strengths is not in seizing the viewer's attention with a high-stakes plot device, gripping characters, and tension you could cut with a bread knife. No, its strength is in presenting those small moments in life. That lack of threat and conflict is what allows Totoro to present a slice of life, free of the kind of narrative devices you'd see in well, a fantastical movie. In that way, My Neighbour Totoro may be one of the most realistic portrayals of life ever committed to the silver screen. And yes, I know that's a strange thing to say about a movie about woodland spirits and a cat that doubles up as a bus, but it is more real in that there are so many more of those precious, quiet moments that make life valuable in this movie. It's packed with them. I mean, off the top of my head, there's the moment where Mei is simply sitting and staring at the bush where the mini Totoro disappeared into. And for a good few seconds, all that happens is a butterfly passes. Everything else is still. Or how about when the father appears to hear Totoro singing? I think it's singing, it's playing into its little acorn horn. Listening to that at night. And for a little moment, he just closes his eyes, smiles, and listens. Or the satisfying sense of progress they make on cleaning the house. Or most famously perhaps, those long, silent pauses while Satsuki and Totoro stand in the rain. This movie is packed with moments like those, and it takes a brave movie studio to allow even one of those kind of moments at the risk of losing their audience, who they believe have the attention span of a fingernail. And yet, every one of these moments are sweet, delightful moments in the movie, and I can savor just as much as my own real precious moments in my life. And that is where the true value of Totoro lies. It doesn't tell a story. It doesn't have to. It is an ambient movie, one that you can simply let wash over you like a warm bath. It is all about the feeling, the atmosphere, the mood it creates. Moreover, Totoro is one of a kind. I mean, sure, there are other relaxing movies out there, but can you think of any other movie out there that substitutes so much traditional storytelling for simply building a feel, a tone? I mean, only the other Ghibli movies come close. My Neighbour Totoro is one of my favourite movies. And although it wouldn't qualify for any list of great storytelling, that is exactly why it is so wonderful. It is a masterclass of what the medium can do, of how an atmosphere and tone can be honed to perfection, and how a movie, like life, doesn't need to be packed with milestones and high points to be validated. It can simply be. And that's it for today's showcase. Thank you very much for listening, readers. The written version of this is on my website, the link of which is in the description below, along with links to all of my social media and other blogs as well. So please check those out if you can. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.